Hey guys, welcome back to Now I Know. Today we are talking about one of the very interesting topic called X chromosome inactivation or X inactivation, which is also called Lyonization, after the scientist Mary Lyon who discovered it in 1962. So what is this X inactivation? Now as we know, in females we have two X chromosomes, right? XX. We are talking about the sex chromosome. Female has XX chromosome and male has XY chromosome. That means for females, whatever genes are present on X chromosomes, female have two alleles of each gene, right? Because there are two chromosomes, so each gene has two alleles. But in male, there is only one X chromosome, so that means there is only one allele for each gene present on X chromosome. So that means there is inequality in terms of genes that are present on X chromosome for male and female. So to balance this out, for dosage compensation, that's what we call it as, to have a balance in expression in terms of genes that are present and for expression in both male and female, there is something called X inactivation occurs in case of female. That means one of the X chromosome would be inactivated. Alright, now that is one thing, that there is imbalance because there are two X chromosome in female and there is one in male. Also, there is no need of two X chromosome. There will be double expression of the same genes, double proteins, double products will be formed, which are not needed by these cells. So only one X chromosome has to or needs to be expressed. So this is what we are going to see now, how this X inactivation occurs, how this balance takes place. So let's begin. Now what happens in the zygote, when it's, if it's a female zygote, that is XX chromosome, in the zygote there will be two X chromosome present. Okay, now as the zygote divides, during the embryonic development, what happens is, in each of the cell, one of the X chromosome will be inactivated randomly. Okay, one of the X chromosome from each of the cell will be inactivated. And the chances of which chromosome would be inactivated is 50-50, right? Because it is total random. Maybe in this cell, this X chromosome is getting inactivated. For this cell, it is this. And when I say this, means we have one X chromosome coming from father and one from mother, right? So either it is the maternal or the paternal chromosome which is getting inactivated. Totally random, 50-50% chance. So from each cell, one of the X chromosome would be inactivated in the embryonic development. Now, whatever cells which are produced from this, the daughter cells, they also would have only one active X chromosome and one inactive X chromosome. Whatever X chromosome, say for example in this cell, paternal X chromosome has been activated, it will say as inactivated in the daughter cells also. Alright, so this is going to stay throughout the adult life, throughout, once it is inactivated, it is going to remain in this particular state only. Now, as I said, there will be random inactivation. Some cells would have maternal X chromosomes which are active, and some would have paternal X chromosomes. So there is a mix of genotype, right? There is two types of X chromosome, two different types. Either it is maternal or paternal. It's a mix of both. That is why at this stage is called mosaic. Mosaic we know because it's a mix of two different genotypes. Okay, all right. So when you observe any of the female cell, right, in the nucleus, there will be always one active X chromosome, but there will be one X chromosome inactive somewhere in the nucleus, which can be darkly stained, and that is what we call bar body. Okay, it's a heterochromatin. That means it is highly condensed chromatin, transcriptionally inactive. So this is what we call bar body, and that is absent in male, because simple reason, there is no extra X chromosome that needs to be inactivated. So in female, every cell, every nucleus would have one X chromosome which is active and one X chromosome which is inactive, that is nothing but condensed chromatin or heterochromatin, which is what we call bar body, that gets darkly stained. Now the best example, if you want to observe this phenomena of X inactivation, is in calico cats. Now we know for the fact that mostly calico cats are female, right? And male calico cats are very rare. So that means they have patches of black and orange color on their skin. Now the mechanism is very interesting. The reason behind this is X chromosome inactivation. Let's see how it works. First, let's take an example of male cats. What happens is you have male means you will have X and Y chromosome. Now this X chromosome can have either the allele for or gene for black color pigment, or it can have gene for orange color pigment. Any of the allele can be present. So in case of male, it is simple. If there is a gene for black color pigment, you are going to get black color cat. In case of male which has gene for orange color, you're going to get the orange color cat. Now, how male calico cats can be there, we will see in a while. First, we will see what happens in case of female cat. So, what happens in case of female? There can be three cases. Either both the X chromosome contains a gene allele for black color pigmentation. So, in that case, nothing else. You will have black color cat because there is only one allele. In case if the X chromosome, both the X chromosome has the allele for orange color pigmentation, the cat is going to be orange. But in case where it is heterozygous, that means it has one allele for black color pigmentation and one for orange. What is going to happen in the embryonic stage? Randomly in the cell, either of the X chromosome would get inactivated, right? We saw 50-50 chance. In case for the cells where the X chromosome containing orange color pigmentation is inactive, those cells would have only the black color pigmentation present. And for those cells where the black color allele containing X chromosome is inactivated, would express orange color, right? So here you have a mosaic. Here you have combination of both the types of alleles that are present. So as a result, what you get is the calico female, right? So that is how here, as you can observe, the area where you have black color patches are the cells where the orange allele containing X chromosome is inactivated. Whereas the area where you have orange color pigmentation, the X chromosome containing black color allele is inactivated. So this is a very good example of X inactivation. That is why calico cats are mostly female. Now there are rare calico male cats. How that happens? What happens over there? Now, what happens over here? How can we have a calico male if during meiosis there is non-disjunction and two X chromosomes are present and they are heterozygous? In such rare condition, it is going to have two X chromosomes, one containing allele for black pigment and one for orange. That's how you're going to end up with the calico male cat, and this is something similar to Klinefelter syndrome in humans. Now, one point that we need to be clear over here is when you look at this, expression of two pigments, it should not be confused with codominance. If you guys remember, in one of the previous video, we have spoken about codominance and we had seen example of red and white spotted flowers where the flower contained the gene for both red and white pigment and both the alleles were expressed. Okay, in that case, both the alleles were expressed and that was an example of codominance. That is not same in this case. Here there is X inactivation. So each cell contains only one allele and that is being expressed. As a result, you are getting patches of pigmentation on you are seeing it on the fur. It is very different than codominance. Be very clear about this. So that's all. That is what X inactivation is all about. That was one of the best example to understand what exactly is X chromosome inactivation. So that's all for now. I hope this video was helpful. Do subscribe to the channel for new video every week and I'll see you next time. Until then, keep learning.